Hello, wonderful listeners. Welcome to Inspirational Moments with AOOY. I'm Ikea Ujora Obenyabwa. And today we have a truly inspiring message to share with you. And it's on the theme, Worth the Wait. Worth the Wait, we are looking at the life, biblical figure of Joseph, one whose journey from brokenness to triumph exemplifies the idea worth the wait. Sometimes what we lose is merely being moved by God. We are going to delve deeper into the theme of letting go and trusting that God can handle your broken heart. Before we delve into Joseph's story, let's talk about worth the wait. In our fast-paced world of instant gratification often take precedence over our patience and our faith. We want things to happen on our own terms, in our own timelines. But what if, like Joseph, the path of our dreams requires a detour through heartbreak and hardship? Can we trust that what we've lost is simply being moved to a better place? Joseph, as many of you may know, was the beloved son of Jacob, known for the vibrant coat his father had given him. However, his journey was not all sunshine and rainbows. Envious of his father's favoritism, his brothers plotted against him, eventually selling him into slavery in Egypt. Joseph's dream of a bright future became shattered in an instant, and he found himself in a foreign land, far from everything he knew and loved. Joseph's story is one that is most compelling in the Bible. It's a story of betrayal, a story of heartbreak, and ultimately a story of the redemption. His brothers' jealousy and resentment led them to sell him into slavery, tear him away from his family. Imagine the heartbreak and despair Joseph might have felt when he was taken into Egypt, a foreign land, far away from everyone he knew that loved him. It's easy to imagine him crying out to God, feeling abandoned and broken. But here is where the message of letting go and trusting God's plan comes to play. Despite the hardship he endured, Joseph remained faithful to God. He worked diligently as a slave and later on as a prisoner, and through divine intervention, he rose to a position of great influence in Egypt, second to Pharaoh himself. Joseph's story is one of endurance, faith, and resilience. He faced numerous trials and tribulations, imprisonment, but through it all, Joseph held onto his faith in God's plan, believing that his broken heart was being moved, not lost. Joseph's story of healing and restoration reminds us that even in our darkest moments, when our hearts are shattered, God is at work behind the scenes, moving the pieces of our lives towards a greater purpose. It's about trusting the process, even when it seems like everything is falling apart. Joseph spent years in prison for a crime he didn't commit, but he never lost hope. He continued to interpret dreams using his God-given gifts, which eventually led him to interpret Pharaoh's dream and rise to the position of great power in Egypt. It was during these years of waiting that Joseph's true worth was revealed. He learned the important lessons of leadership, forgiveness, and humility. When his brothers came to Egypt seeking for food during the famine, they didn't recognize the man before them was their own long-lost brother they sold. But Joseph, however, recognized them. And instead of seeking revenge, he extended forgiveness and reconciled with the family. Joseph's story teaches us that sometimes the wait is necessary for our growth and transformation. It allows us to develop qualities and strength that we never knew we possessed. Joseph's faith in God's plan, despite his trials, allowed him to see the bigger picture, the purpose behind his suffering, and the ultimate fulfillment of his dream. So, what can we take away from Joseph's tear and his ultimate triumph over adversity? Is that our broken heart is just merely being moved. How can we apply these lessons to our hearts and our lives, especially when we are facing a serious heartbreak or betrayal? It's a reminder that our own hardships and disappointments are not the end of our story. They are part of our greater narrative, and that it is still unfolding. We must trust that what we've lost or experienced or the pain we are going through is a necessary step on the path in our journey to something bigger to come. It's crucial to acknowledge our pain and grief. Joseph wept many tears during his ordeal, and it's okay for us to do the same. God can handle our broken hearts, and He invites us to bring our pain to Him in prayer. We must learn to let go of our need for control and leave it in God's trust and sovereignty. Joseph didn't plan to become a ruler in Egypt, but he embraced the role that God had ordained for him. Sometimes the pieces of our lives won't fit together until we surrender it all to God. Forgiveness is a powerful tool for healing. Just as Joseph forgave his brothers, we too can find healing and restoration in forgiving those who have hurt us. It's challenging, I know, but it's essential for the path that we want to lead, our journey to wholeness. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this thought. When you are facing a broken heart, remember that God can handle it. Like Joseph, your tears and trials may be part of your greater plan that is leading to your healing, redemption, and a purpose you never imagined. Thank you for joining us on today's video, and I hope this video has inspired you to trust in God's plan for your life, even in the midst of heartaches. If you have any questions or would like to share your own story of healing and faith, please feel free to reach out to us on our social media handles. And until next time, may you find strength in your faith and comfort in the knowledge that God is always working to mend your broken hearts. Take care. Ciao. Bye.